feeling it in our hearts, in our minds, feeling it in all of our bodies. We know the presence of love right here, right now. For we are here right now. And so we breathe in the knowledge and the awareness and the appreciation of the presence of the One. And as we relax into this moment, letting go of anything that we're worried about in the future or anything that draws us away from being present to this moment in our past, we enjoy this moment, this single moment, for we know that it is all that we have. And so we take the opportunity to feel and to know the presence of the One. And we breathe. And we listen. And we receive. Opening ourselves to the gift that is ours. In this presence, we recognize our oneness. We enjoy the goodness that is ours. And we know with joy that good and more good is ours. And so we let it be. We release it. And we seal it with the words, Amen.
Working really hard, 'cause I've noticed how it lightens up my spirit and my heart. But there's still one soul that I beat up on, shame and blame and heap the crud on. What a painful price that little soul has paid. So face to face and heart to heart, I think it's time to say, I forgive you. You've done the best you could. I forgive you. I release you from the should. I accept you as that perfect child of God you're meant to be. I forgive you, me. I wonder why it's easier forgiving someone else. Mothers, fathers, children, anybody but myself. Can I learn to love myself completely? The good, the bad, the cool, the geeky, though the pieces won't be falling into place, till I can look with love upon this face. I forgive you. You've done the best you could. I forgive you. I release you from the should. I accept you as that perfect child of God you're meant to be. I forgive you, me. When I slip into those unforgiving habits from the past, I promise that I'll see you clearly in that looking glass. I forgive you. You've done the best you could. I forgive you. I release you from the should. I accept you as that perfect child of God you're meant to be. I forgive you, me. I forgive you, me.
I wanted to come for a long time. One, just to visit, but two, I get to speak as well. So that's like the icing on the cake. So I'm really pleased to have been invited and really pleased to be here to share with you this morning. I was interested in one of your statements that says, there is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God, the good, omnipotent. There is only one. There's not two. There's not good and evil. There's not right or wrong. There's simply Spirit, as each of us, as everything we see, everything we know. So when Mary Ann told me that I was supposed to speak on light, I thought, okay, that was your theme this month. There's no way I can coordinate with other speakers that I don't even know. So I picked out what I wanted to talk about with light, and we'll go with that this morning. I want you to imagine with me 3 salad bowls, sort of salad bowls. They're upside down, and there's one, and it's really large. And mine, and when I do it, they're always stainless steel because of the reflectiveness of the stainless steel, I think. And so then the middle one is not truly a bowl. It's more like a sieve. It has all these holes in it. And then there's a third one that is smaller, and it is a reflection of the other. And so you are the small one, all right? And you are reflecting. And the large one is the Spirit, the wholeness, the allness. It's not that you're separate from it, but it's how you express it. Now, the sieve in the middle with all those little holes in there, it's an interesting sieve because the holes change. They get bigger, they get smaller, they come, they go, they do all that. But what they are is they are openings to the light to shine clearly through our lives. So you may be really, really good at encouraging other people. So that part of your sieve is wide open. And you reflect this part of Spirit easily, this part that encourages others. Maybe you have an issue with your past. Either you think that you were done wrong or you think you did wrong. And so that part of your sieve is locked. It's blocked. You don't get any light reflected through there. It's like muddied up. But the thing to know is that it can be cleaned out. It can be cleared. And that's what we want to do. We want to get to where the light that we are shines so brightly that it blesses everyone around us, including ourselves, And it is so clear that people get it. You know, we're here to encourage each other. That's what we're here to do, really. To love and to be all that we were meant to be. And that means to express our gifts and to share them with each other. And so as we grow and the light shines more clearly through us, we bless all those around us. If you have an area in your life, and this image works for you, then you might see a blockage in that area. And you might ask yourself, why am I, or how am I, or what is it that is blocking the light in this area of my life? Maybe you doubt that you're in the right place, and you're really concerned, am I in the right place? And you spend a lot of energy worrying about that, so much so that you don't enjoy where you are. And you don't give the gift that you have to give right where you are because you're so worried about whether or not you're in the right place. Well, if that's where you are, that's the right place. It just works that way. And then you move on from there. And so I wanted to share with you, John 1:19 says, "There was the true light, which coming into the world enlightens every man." There is one light coming into the world. It is the world. It is expressing individually as each and every one of us. It is ours to clear up the things that would block us from truly expressing the fullness of the light that we are. So as I was thinking about this, for some reason, Emily Dickinson jumped into my mind, and she wouldn't get out. Emily Dickinson is now recognized as being a genius of a poet. And she is translated, her work is translated to multiple languages. She's taught in college courses. She's shared at different levels. People just love her work. But her lifetime was spent not being recognized as a poet. She had less than 12 poems published during her lifetime. She wanted to have more. She asked the question, and she asked for the help, but she didn't get the help that she needed. When she passed away, her sister-in-law was given the instruction to get rid of her personal papers. But she made the call that poems were not personal papers. Thank goodness she made that call. And so she kept all of the poems, 1,800 poems that she wrote. And so Emily had a rough life. She started out beautiful, happy child, just a lovely life. Very social, Amherst College, very curious mind, studying all sorts of things young ladies did not study, and just really having wonderful conversations with people from around the world and all of that. But from a young age, the illness, dying, death fascinated her. I don't think fascinating is the right word. She questioned it. She couldn't understand the pain of loss, why that had to be. And it caused her great, great suffering throughout her life. And she had a lot of loss. In the 1840s, 50s, 60s, 70s, lots of people died, and they would die very quickly. And so you'd be having a friend, a family member, a week later they'd be gone. And it was just really a difficult thing for her to deal with. As she got older, her mother spent 30 years in and out of bed, being bedridden with one thing or another. And Emily ended up being the one that was to take care of her. And so she spent many, many years taking care of her invalid mother. They had a lady who worked in the home that helped. But when she quit, it took them a long time to find someone else. So now Emily had her mother. She had the house. She had all the cooking, all the cleaning, all of that other stuff to do. And it just was a very hard life. And she had this huge desire to write poems and loved doing it and wanted people to recognize it. She read an author who said, your work should have life in it. And so she sent him some of her poems and said, is there life in my work? She never got a clear answer. She never got anyone that could help her to publish, to get the work of her life out there for others. So I asked myself, what was it that she needed? It's easy to tell a story about someone like Emily because it's very dramatic and it's interesting and we're fascinated by it. Our stories are not usually so dramatic. Our gifts are not so remarkable as Emily's were. It doesn't lessen the gift. It doesn't lessen what we have to offer. It just says that ours is more in the day-to-day life of ourselves and others. So I asked myself, what was it that Emily needed to be able to fully share her gift? She needed someone to believe in her. She needed someone to say, yes, you are special. Yes, you do have a special gift. One of the reasons that we become members of a spiritual community is we need to know truth. We need someone to say to us, it's all spirit, including you. And what you have to offer is special, it's perfect, just the way it is. We need that. And so sometimes we find it, it's easy to find. Other times, not so much. For Emily, there just wasn't that. I thought it was fascinating. She and her sister created a garden at their home. And it was so beautiful that people would come to see the gardens. And she was quite the gardener and botanist and wrote things and all that. I never knew that about her. But that was another passion in her life. But the poetry was not something that people encouraged. Some of the things that she did publish, they changed them to fit more like what they thought a poem should be, and before they published them. So she really needed someone to say to her, your gift is your gift, and it's special. And yes, it has life in it. She needed encouragement. She needed recognition of her gift. And she needed someone to say, go for it. Go for it. Go out there and work at it and go for it. And that's what we all need. And that is what we all also have the opportunity to give. Oprah Winfrey used to tell the story. I haven't seen much of her lately, but she told the story of being in grade school and feeling ugly because her lips were large, and beautiful girls were supposed to have small lips and hers were not. And she had a really hard childhood anyway, and this was just one more part of it. And a governor's wife came through the inner city school, they come through and they smile and all that stuff. And this governor's wife reached down to look at Oprah in the face and said to her, what a pretty little girl with those bee-stung lips. That was like, you and I are like, that was kind of a strange, but for her, it just, poof, all of a sudden something that she had seen as something so bad that she didn't want was something that she was appreciated for. And it let her see herself in a totally new way. Most of us, or some of us, have teachers that we remember that said something to us, our aunts or uncles or mothers or sisters or brothers or friends or whatever, who said something to us that we can look back on that and we can think, oh, yes, that was the moment for me that I really began to appreciate who I am, who I truly am. I wanted to share something from Ernest Holmes' The Science of Mind. If one will have faith in himself, faith in his fellow man, in the universe and in God, that faith will light the place in which he finds himself. And by the light of this faith, he will be able to see that all is good. And the light shed by this faith will light the way for others. We become conscious of darkness only when we are without faith. For faith is ever the light of our day and the light of our way, making that way clearly visible to us, even when to all others it may be beset with obstacles and the ongoing rough. Faith. Faith is a muscle that you can exercise and develop. It's not something that you either have or you don't have. It's something that you can know is a need within your life, and you can practice it. You can surround yourself with things that speak to you of faith, that encourage you in faith. A community that will encourage you in faith. People, friends, books, music that tell you that there is one power, one presence, one light, and that includes you in it. And that you have something special to give. And if you don't give it, no one else will. It is yours to give. It is yours to be that expression in this world. So as we think about the light of the world and we think about our salad bowls, we think about how we can feel separate, how we can feel blocked by that middle sieve, bowl, whatever, but how the light is always there. You know, people use the sunlight. The sun is always shining, and if you get above the clouds, you will see it. You know, and that was the first time you ever take a plane trip, and they break through the cloud cover, and all of a sudden you see, no matter what the clouds were like, if it could have been raining or really, dark or whatever, but as you break through and see that, you know that it's always there. It's always, always there. Our view of it isn't always clear, but it's always there, and it's always expressing in and as and through us. The light of the world is you. The light of the world is you. The love, the encouragement, the joy, the faith is each of you. Pat yourself on the back. Know the truth. Be happy in it. And it will express more and more. Thank you.
Life with your life. Touch somebody's heart with yours. Share the gift of God's love with everyone you meet. Touch somebody's life with yours. I see my neighbor standing there, looking so different. Should I really care? God loves us all, and in His love we share. Touch somebody's life with your life. Touch somebody's heart with yours. Share the gift of God's love with everyone you meet. Touch somebody's life with yours. Touch somebody's life with your life. Touch somebody's heart with yours. Share the gift of God's love with everyone you meet. Touch somebody's life with yours.
For protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God encloses us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. All is well. Please join together for our peace song.
Now there is peace on earth, and now it begins with me. Now there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, united all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Peace has begun with me, and this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment